Most men over 60 own ties. Almost none of them are wearing them correctly, and it's quietly undercutting an otherwise sharp outfit. It's rarely the tie itself that's the problem. It's the small decisions made around it. It's not the pattern's fault. It's the length, the width, the knot. Small details most men stop questioning the moment a tie feels familiar and comfortable. Fix those three things, and the exact same tie suddenly looks entirely different. That difference alone shapes how people read the rest of your outfit before you even say a word. On this channel, we focus on classic menswear and practical style for men who want to look sharp, masculine, and respected. No trends, no noise, just what actually works for real life, for real bodies, and for men who don't want to overthink getting dressed. Just what actually works for real life day after day without chasing whatever trend is popular this season. Today I'm walking you through exactly how to wear a tie the right way after 60. The length, the width, the fabric, and the knot that actually work together, instead of quietly fighting each other. These are adjustments you can apply immediately using pieces you likely already own. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to make any tie look sharp instead of dated, without buying anything expensive at all. No guesswork, no wasted purchases, just a handful of decisions you can trust going forward. Tie length is the single most noticeable detail in a tied outfit, and yet most men over 60 are still wearing whatever length happened to come pre-tied years ago. That single habit alone is quietly responsible for more outdated formal outfits than any other detail. This one habit alone is quietly responsible for more outdated outfits than any single piece of clothing. Here's the part nobody talks about. A tie that hangs well below the belt buckle doesn't read as generous or relaxed. It reads as careless, no matter how nice the fabric is. It's a small detail, but it's exactly the kind of thing that separates sharp from careless at a glance. The fix is simple. The tip of your tie should land right at your belt buckle, not above it, not dangling well past it. That single adjustment changes how the entire outfit reads. That one change is often the difference between an outfit that reads intentional and one that doesn't. Picture this. You're dressing for a formal dinner. A tie that ends precisely at the belt buckle, clean and proportional against your torso. Nothing loud, nothing forced, just quietly sharp from head to toe. This is where most men get it completely wrong. They tie the same length every time out of habit and never adjust for their own height or torso proportions. It's a small omission with an outsized effect on how finished the whole outfit looks. A tie that's too short is just as noticeable as one that's too long, riding up awkwardly and drawing the eye to an unfinished-looking knot. Getting this detail right pays off in every single outfit you build afterward. Avoid letting the tie hang more than an inch above or below your belt buckle if a sharp, put-together look is the goal. That's a small rule, but it consistently separates a sharp outfit from a dated one. This sounds small, but it changes everything about how the outfit reads. The right length instantly makes you look taller and considerably more composed. The eye now has a clear, deliberate path to follow across the whole outfit. Takeaway: length matters more than pattern or price ever will. Get the tip at your belt buckle, and everything else becomes easier. It's a 5-second decision that pays off every single time you make it. Width is the detail most men over 60 never think twice about, and it happens to be one of the fastest ways to accidentally date an entire outfit. That habit sticks around far longer than it probably should, simply out of comfort. Here's the part nobody talks about. A tie that's far wider or narrower than your jacket lapel creates a visual mismatch that's obvious the moment someone looks at you. The difference between the two often comes down to a single small decision. The fix is simple. Match your tie width closely to your lapel width. Both should feel proportional to each other and to your own frame. Either mistake pulls attention toward the wrong part of the outfit entirely. Picture this. You're dressing for a business meeting. A tie width that mirrors your lapel width, creating one clean, unified line down your chest. That small detail is what separates sharp from sloppy almost instantly. This is where most men get it completely wrong. They wear the same tie width regardless of what jacket or lapel style they're pairing it with. Nobody in the room questions whether you thought about what you're wearing. A medium-width tie, roughly 3 to 3.5 inches at its widest point, works with almost any modern lapel and suits most builds after 60. One small piece, two completely different impressions, depending on how it's handled. Avoid anything extremely skinny or extremely wide unless your lapel matches that exact same proportion throughout the jacket. That's a small rule, but it consistently separates a sharp outfit from a dated one. This one adjustment alone, matching width to lapel, can make an old tie look considerably more current and intentional. A small, low-cost fix, and the payoff is noticeable every time you wear it. Takeaway: width isn't just personal preference, it's proportion. Match it to your lapel, and the whole outfit reads unified. Consistent, controlled, and reliable, that's the version worth actually keeping. Cheap, shiny polyester was never really built with a refined, mature look in mind, and wearing it rarely sends the message most men intend. It's a detail most men learn to ignore, right up until someone points it out. Here's the part nobody talks about. A shiny, stiff polyester tie catches the light in a way that reads as inexpensive even when paired with a great suit. That single detail does more visual work than most men ever give it credit for. The mistake is assuming any tie will do the job as long as the color matches. In reality, fabric quality changes the entire impression instantly. There's rarely a middle ground here, only right or noticeably off. The fix is simple. Choose a quality silk or a wool blend with a subtle texture, something with a soft, natural sheen instead of an artificial shine. That's the entire secret to making this piece feel current and considered. Picture this: a formal event, a silk tie with a gentle, natural luster catching the light softly instead of glaring under it. Every detail here says intentional, not accidental or thrown together at the last minute. This is where most men get it wrong. They reach for the cheapest option available, not realizing how much fabric quality affects the entire outfit's impression. It's a small choice with a surprisingly large effect on the whole outfit. A quality silk or wool tie also holds its knot better throughout the day, resisting the wrinkling and flattening that cheap polyester develops by noon. Something that hangs or sits naturally always reads more confident than something forced. This sounds small, but it changes everything about how put together the outfit feels the moment you walk into any room. That contrast is subtle, but it's exactly what separates thoughtful from careless. Takeaway: fabric isn't just texture, it's perception. A quality silk or wool tie will always read sharper than shiny polyester. Remember this simple principle, and this piece never lets you down again. Knot choice is the detail that quietly ruins more tie outfits than any other single factor, and almost nobody talks about it directly. That hesitation keeps a genuinely useful detail sitting unused far too often. Here's the part nobody talks about. A bulky Windsor knot on a narrow button-down collar overwhelms the entire neckline and looks disproportionate. Most men have simply never taken the time to notice the difference. The fix is simple. Match your knot size to your collar spread. A smaller 4 in hand for narrow collars. A fuller Windsor only for wide-spread collars. One small fix, and the entire outfit suddenly reads more intentional. Picture this. You're dressing for a business meeting. A neat 4 in hand knot sitting cleanly within a standard collar, proportional and considered. That single choice is never worth the trade-off it creates elsewhere in the outfit. This is where most men get it completely wrong. They tie the same knot every single time regardless of what collar they're actually wearing. One small adjustment, and the whole combination reads noticeably sharper. A half Windsor offers a solid middle ground, working well with most modern collar spreads without overwhelming a narrower neckline. No extra effort required, just a smarter way to wear what you already own. Either way, the goal stays the same. The knot should fill the collar space neatly, without gaps on the sides or excessive bulk at the center. A defined line here works in your favor far more than people expect. Learning 2 knots instead of 1 costs nothing and can completely transform how proportional your ties look across different shirts. Nothing new to buy, just a smarter way to use what's already in your closet. Takeaway: knot size should match collar width. A knot that fits your collar will always outperform one you default to out of habit. It's the kind of detail that photographs well and feels effortless to maintain. A great tie can still clash badly with the wrong shirt, and this is exactly where a lot of otherwise sharp outfits fall apart. The same habit, repeated outfit after outfit, stops working long before most men notice. Here's the part nobody talks about. Pairing a busy patterned tie with an equally busy patterned shirt creates visual chaos instead of interest. That single shift in mindset opens up far more versatility than expected. The fix is simple. If your shirt has a pattern, choose a solid tie. If your shirt is solid, a patterned tie becomes the outfit's point of interest. A small effort here reads as considerably more intentional than skipping it. Picture this: a crisp, solid white shirt paired with a rich patterned tie. The tie becomes the focal point instead of competing for attention. That extra bit of attention is the entire difference in how the outfit reads. This is where most men get it completely wrong. They match a striped shirt with a striped tie and wonder why the outfit feels overwhelming. Every piece here is doing double duty, practical and put together at once. One pattern, one solid, that's the entire rule. It keeps the eye moving smoothly instead of stopping at visual confusion. That assumption alone keeps a genuinely useful detail stuck in one narrow lane. Keep the color palette coordinated too, pulling one color from the shirt or jacket into the tie to tie the whole outfit together intentionally. A quiet choice here reads considerably more expensive than a loud one. Takeaway: pattern and solid should trade off, never compete. Keep one busy and one calm, and the outfit always reads composed. One small decision, and the whole outfit levels up almost instantly. Now here's the part that ties everything together. If you remember nothing else from this video, remember this simple formula. Skip this step, and every other decision in this video loses some of its impact. First, the length. The tip should land right at your belt buckle, never noticeably above or below it. Somewhere in the middle of these extremes is what actually works for most men. Second, the width. Match your tie width to your lapel width, keeping the proportion unified down your chest. This single detail decides whether the outfit flatters or fights your frame. Third, the fabric. Quality silk or a wool blend with subtle texture, never shiny, stiff polyester. Anything past that point starts to read as careless rather than intentional. Fourth, the knot. Match the knot size to your collar spread, a 4 in hand for narrow collars, a Windsor for wide ones. That detail matters more than most men ever stop to consider. Fifth, coordinate pattern and color. One patterned piece, one solid piece, never 2 busy patterns competing at once. A small, low-cost fix can outperform an expensive piece worn the wrong way. This sounds simple, but it changes everything. Once you dial in these 5 details, a tie stops feeling like an afterthought. A few reliable pieces will always outperform a closet full of ones worn carelessly. A well-dressed man over 60 doesn't need a drawer full of ties, he needs a handful of quality ones that always work with what he already owns. That's the entire goal. Less deciding, more simply getting dressed and moving on. So here's a question for you. What's the one tie mistake you're still making right now? Drop it in the comments. I read every one. I'll pick a few answers and cover them properly in a future video. And if you want straightforward, no-nonsense style advice made for men who value confidence over trends, go ahead and subscribe today. New videos go up regularly, all built around this same practical approach. In the next video, I'll show you the right way to wear a coat after 60. The length, the fit, and the mistakes quietly aging your entire outerwear rotation.